All right, we are live. All right, guys. So welcome. I do apologize about the um slightly late start, internet issues, but everything looks like it's going. Everything looks like it's going now. So yeah, so I think we're good. All right. So tonight's class, right? How to fix your credit in 2026. This is something that not only you guys need to learn for yourself, you guys need to learn for your clients. It's very important that you're staying away from those fake affidavits, those fake police reports, those fake human trafficking. Guys, these are the things that's going to get you guys locked up. And if they don't get you locked up, they're going to get your credit repair specialist who's telling you to do these things locked up. All right. So, how to avoid going to jail for credit repair, how to avoid fixing your credit with fake identity theft, fake human trafficking reports in 2026. This is what we're going to do. Let's get it. Uh, 1 second. All right. So, what are some of the things that we need to pay attention to in 2026? All right. If you're repairing anybody's credit, guys, and you're talking about fake affidavits, you're doing fake police reports, fake human trafficking, and anything of that sort that compromises your integrity as a person, as a business, please stay away from it. If there's people telling you that, oh, just go do a credit sweep and file these police reports, guys, I promise you, if it does not catch up to you now, it's going to catch up to you. Leave it alone. There are better ways, there are safer ways, there are correct ways to get this done. Do not engage in the scams. Do not engage in the lies around credit repair, guys. There's a lot of gray area, and I'm telling you, some of y'all people, not y'all on this call, because if you're on this call and you're watching, you're not a part of it. But these people out here in these streets, they will get caught. That is a fact. Just like with the PPP loan, everybody thought they were just gonna get away with the PPP free money. All of them got locked up. 5 years later, do not engage. Do not engage in fraudulent activities around credit repair. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So if you're not going to engage in fraudulent activities, I want you to drop some fire in the chat. If you will not be tempted to file fake police reports, drop some fire in the chat. If you're not going to be tempted to file fake human trafficking reports, drop some fire in the chat. If you're not going to be tempted to do something that could potentially land you in jail, drop some fire in the chat. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't got time for that. You don't got time for that. Leave fraudulent credit repair to the fraudulent credit repair people who do it. We ain't going to jail for nobody. All right? All right. So let's get into it. When we talk about credit repair, the first thing we need to identify is what? The first thing on your list is what? Find a credit report. We must go to annualcreditreport.com or go to Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, or MyFICO. Those are so you're going to go to Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, MyFICO, and annualcreditreport.com. So there are 5 places you can get your credit report from that's reliable. 5 reliable places. And then there's going to be somebody in the chat that's going to say, Doreen, what about my score IQ? What about my free score now? What about all these other credit karma? Guys, no. Third party, third party Third party, not good, unreliable. Their company procedures, a consumer reporting agency will weasel their way out of a credit report from a third party faster than you can say the word Houdini. Why? Because the first thing they're going to use as their defense is not a credible source. Third party, and they have no control over how information and data is handled in that company. Furthermore, they cannot attest or certify that the information that company is furnishing is correct. Therefore, they deny any and all allegations regarding anything on the report because it was obtained from a company, a third party company that they cannot vouch for or substantiate. Your case just got kicked right out the door. But Your Honor, I got a My Free Score IQ credit report. Objection, Your Honor. Let the record show that My Free Score now is not a company of Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, and we cannot vouch for any information, accuracy, or document preparation or procedure or document handling of the sort of any company or subsidiaries that we do not own. Like, it only makes sense. You can't get them with a My Free Score IQ. Like, that don't work. So you're going to go to the 5 places: Experian themselves, TransUnion themselves, Equifax themselves, annualcreditreport.com, or MyFICO. All right? That's where you're going to get the most accurate consumer report from. After that, you're going to get your highlighter. Because now you're going to print out your credit report, right? You're going to print out your credit report. Hold on, I think my camera is a little fuzzy. Let me get it all cleaned up. All right. Oh, hello, handsome guy. What's going on? All right. So you got a little bit of waves going on. It's not a lot, but you do got a little bit of waves. All right. Cool. All right. So you're going to get your highlighter. And with your highlighter, you're going to go through line by line on your credit report, highlighting inaccurate, incomplete, unverifiable, inaccurate information. That's it. So names, address, phone numbers, um, emails, right? Then we go into the late payments, collections, inquiries. We go into the repossessions. We go into the bankruptcies. We go into the charge-offs. We're going to collections. We're going to go through all the categories and highlight information that is inaccurate, incomplete, unverifiable, outdated. We're going to highlight all of those. After you highlight those now comes one of the most important part, constructing the dispute letter. The dispute letter is absolutely critical because the dispute letter, that's what you send to a CRA, a creditor, a furnisher, a debt collector. That's what you send in to dispute the negative, inaccurate, incomplete, unverifiable, outdated information that you found on a credit report that you highlighted, right? So your dispute letters must make sense. Oh my God. Beloved, your dispute letters must make sense. Your dispute letters must make sense. Why must your dispute letters make sense? If you got a collection, how in the name of Elon Musk, how are you going to dispute a late payment on a collection? That don't make no sense. How are you going to dispute a late payment on a bankruptcy? Makes no sense. How are you going to dispute stuff that don't correlate? If the account is late, we're addressing the late payment. If it's a collection, we're going to address it as a collection. If it's a charge off, we're going to address it as a charge off, right? Address the account for what it is. Don't use a late payment letter sending out for collections. Like, don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't send out late payment letters for collections. Don't do it. You will not get anywhere with that dispute. It's a complete waste of time. If we're going to talk about late payment, it must be either a closed account or an open account, or if the account is a charge off. So, under late payment, there are three categories to dispute late payments: open accounts, closed accounts, or charged off accounts. If it's not a charge off, closed, or open account, you will not dispute a late payment because that dispute will make no sense. Right? If it's a collection, there's so many things to consider if it's a collection. Collection is one of the biggest categories in credit because there's many factors. There are many factors. There are many factors that influence a dispute with a collection. So, one of the first things we need to know is the collection past the statutes of limitation? Absolutely important. We need to know if the collection is past the statutes of limitations. And the reason why we want to know if it's past the statute of limitations is that a debt collector cannot collect on account, well, it's not an account, on debts that is barred by time. So statutes of limitation is time barred debt. Debt collectors cannot collect on it. Validation. This is the part that gets so many of you hemmed up all the time. Now, when it comes to validation, there's something that you need to consider, right? And one of the major considerations when it comes to validation is, did they send me any documentation? Did they send me any documentation? And why is the documentation important? Because the debt collector, debt buyer, or whoever's collecting it, attempting to collect the debt, they must give the consumer the opportunity to dispute the debt. As a consumer, you have the right to dispute the alleged debt. All right. So, as a consumer, you have the right to dispute the accuracy, completeness of the alleged debt. Now, let's say that the information that's listed is not accurate, and you're going to dispute it now, and you're going to ask, well, you're not going to ask, you're going to state that the information being reported is inaccurate, and you're requesting validation pursuant 12 CFR 1006.34C, right? Once you initiate that law, their only response to that is to provide you with the validation information, not screenshots, not snapshots, not mm, all the other stuff that they do, they must provide the validation information, right? So they must provide it. Now, without providing the validation information, the debt is invalid until validation can be established. Furthermore, while the reinvestigation is happening, all collection activities must stop. And what does that mean? All collection activities must stop. Well, reporting it to a CRA is a form of collection. We saw that in the Johnson versus LV&V. We found that in the Chauncey versus Bank of America. Reporting a negative item to a CRA is a form of collection, and the debt collector must cease and desist all collection activities, which is not limited to the reporting of a of the collection to a CRA, right? Now, in Bursaw versus Northland, we also saw that the characterization of the debt is absolutely critical, right? And what does that simply mean is that there are certain definitions that the debt they're collecting must fall under for it to be classified or defined as an account. And the Electronic Funds Transfer Act has a definition of what the word account means, right? And the FCRA refers to the Electronic Transfer Funds Act, right? But the most important part that we need to unpack, so to speak, is the does it meet the definition of what the word account is? Right, so this is where now we're going to go over to the FCRA or go over to the Electronic Funds Transfer Act, and we're going to find the definition of the word account and then see if what the debt collector is attempting to collect meets that definition. If it does not meet that definition, it's not an account. Therefore, what they're attempting to collect don't meet the standards. Therefore, they have or cannot enforce any collection rights. Right? So simple. Then we're going to talk about the no parking rule. And what the no parking rule is, ladies and gentlemen, is basically the law giving the consumer the power and the ability to say, hey, debt collector, do apologize. And that's where the consumer say, hey, debt collector, you are required by law to do certain things before you attempt to collect this debt. And one of them is to get in contact with me, because if you do not get in contact with me, you cannot illegally park the alleged debt on my credit report. So that part is absolutely critical. So let me find some good sauce to give y'all, all right? Let me find some sauce. All right. It's permissible purpose, late payments. We're not at late payments yet, we're at collections. All right. So when it comes, you know what? Let me share this document too so you guys can see it. I think that will enhance the learning attitude and capabilities a lot more. Right? So if a consumer notifies a debt collector in writing that the consumer refuses to pay a debt, the debt collector wants the debt collector to cease further effort. The debt collector has to, like, the debt collector must cease further communication and not attempt to communicate with the consumer to whom the alleged debt is related to. Now, there are other things here, but the forbidden knowledge that I want you guys to get away from this is that a debt collector is only supposed to call you one time per 7 days. So what does that mean? Is that a debt collector can only call you one time in a 24-hour span, and they can only do that once per day for 7 days. They can call you 7 days in one day and then say, hey, we called, we made the standard. No, 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 no. That's not how it works, right? The next thing we want to talk about is when a debt collector speaks about validation, right? So they'll say to you that the debt is valid. What do you do when a debt collector says that, oh, valid, validated, accurate? What do you do? Can anyone tell me what to do when a debt collector replies to you, verified, validated, accurate? What do you do?
They got to prove to me how did they verified it, validated it.
Hmm. You use some words that is very, very, very accurate. They have to prove. Now, who's the burden of proof on?
Um,
Mhm. The burden of proof is on the creditor. The burden of proof is on the furnisher. There are case laws that speak about the burden of proof and who has to fulfill that role. All right. Now, debt collection is extremely long, and there's so much to unpack in debt collection. So, this is the Forbidden Credit Guide. You guys are more than welcome to get it. The next thing on my list, we spoke about it being an account. We spoke about the differences in responses, initial communication, compared to when they're supposed to send you some validation information, why they're supposed to send it to you, how to hold them accountable. It's a broad topic, all right? So is there any questions that any of you have now in regards to, let's say that you got your first letter in the mail from a debt collector? Let's say that you're being sued for the first time. Let's say that you are like, oh my God, I'm so tired of sitting down. I am going to hold on. I'm going to start a process and I'm going to figure it out. Right? Is there anyone on here that has a question, debt collection related, inquiry, late payment? It doesn't matter. Give me some questions so we go into some Q&As before we get out of here. Because one of the real things that's absolutely critical is knowing your rights. Because a person that don't have any rights has no rights. A person that don't know their rights have no rights, which simply means that if you don't know your rights and they're not being used for your benefit, guess what? You have no right. All right. So I'll open now for some Q&A. It's an extensive lesson. We can always go back over this, but I want you guys to grasp the most popular things that's coming from debt collectors. Like we're even noticing that debt collectors are sending back clients pages to fill out to fill in their information, hoping to trap them. So debt collectors are getting very sneaky right now, and if you are not on top of your game, you're going to voluntarily provide information to a debt collector that we know you should not have. Where is the late payment letter for the furnishers? It's inside the university. Just type in R1 late payment. All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right. I'm going to take your silence that I broke this down really, really good. And it couldn't be broken down anymore. Therefore, by assumption, which I don't like to assume stuff, but being that y'all say Durrani are great, we're going to keep it there. For some reason, I haven't been able to get into the university. If you have not been able to get into the university, I want you to send a support email. Excuse me. Support at consumer law secrets. Support at consumerlawsecrets.com. Okay. Send an email to support and let support know the issues that you're having. That way we can fix it ahead of time tomorrow. All right. So no questions. All right. That's absolutely great. So it means that you guys are getting it more and more and more. You're studying more and more and more. It's becoming simpler. All right. April, I see your hand is up. Talk to me, April.
Yes, I have a quick question. If you're disputing with the CRAs for two different types of disputes, you can do
Mhm.
them at the same time, right? They're
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
letters.
Mhm.
Okay, I just wanted
You're
to make
gonna
sure of
send out
that.
different letters addressing different things. Just don't get the letters mixed up. That's all.
Okay, I just wanted to verify that. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is the connoisseur. You do not want to miss tomorrow's call. Next week, guys, it's the new year. There might not be any class. I was thinking between this week and next week, but this week is a holiday. Next week, we're approaching back holidays again, and I'm going to be doing some stuff too with the family. So what I'm going to do is that this week we'll make this week's classes very impactful in regards to how to start to fix your credit in 2021, followed by how to sue a debt collector, CRA, in 2026. The rules have changed, and now we are going to disseminate the information so everybody can go and be great, be the best version of yourself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be of tremendous value, because not only have you learned how to fish, now you can actually teach somebody else how to fish. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys tomorrow for a connoisseur. Looks like a hand is up. Foster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I have a
what you got?
question.
What you got?
Uh, Let me see. Okay, the intent to sue stall letter. Am I supposed to copy and paste that word for word? Or should I put an amount where it says compensate me for statutory action punitive damages? How should I base that amount?
So you have to base it around what happened to you or what damages you had. So, for example, let's say that you were supposed to have a business meeting, and that meeting was supposed to give you like, I don't know, 10 clients at $1,000. That's 10,000, right?
Hmm.
But the you weren't able to go because you had went for a car, then you got denied for the car, and then you missed your meeting. So let's say that you're talking about damages, missing the meeting, missing potentially that deal, the car dealership. Like, it's up to you. You have to, it's already made. You have to modify it, right? You
This
have to
is for a
modify.
stall letter.
Yeah. So if it's a stall letter, so they stalled you, right? And
Hmm.
you're responding to the stall letter.
Yes. Yeah, you told me to go ahead and sue them since they stalled on
Mhm.
me.
So if they're gonna stall, you'd use directly the information in the stall guide.
It's a guide.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
means y'all are not paying attention. Y'all are not paying attention. All right. I did two guides. There's one on stall tactics. There's an updated late payment guide. There's two new guides. Two new one. One for stalling and one for I think it was late payment. So check the university. Top right hand corner, you're going to see the search bar. hit the word search and find and search for it. If you can't find it, then now you will escalate a situation to me where I can handle it. But as it pertains to whatever you need, it's there, right?
No, I just didn't know what to put on the where it say compensate me for statutory, actual, and punitive damages. I didn't know what to put right there. Should I take that out and put in? Because it just says compensate me. So I'm writing them a letter and I'm telling them to compensate me, but it doesn't say how much. So that's what I was wondering.
All right, bring this up tomorrow. So and screen share so I can see what you're talking about.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, it's a little difficult. What I'm picturing in my head sounds like completely something different than what you got. So tomorrow on the connoisseur call, bring it so you can screen share, and from the screen share now, I'll be better able to give you more information.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll be able to solve it tomorrow. For those of you that's listening, stall letters, guys. There's a whole strategy on how to sue for stall letters. Experian got sued many times for stall letters, and there's many things we can do and many things we can learn so that when we get these star letters, we're not going back and forth. No, round two, three, four, five, six, seven, nine, 10. Like we don't need all of that, right? Round one, if they stall, we sue. That's it.
Right.
Round one is identifying the inaccurate information, right? Round two, well, it wouldn't be round two, but the response would be what they responded. In this case, would be a star letter. And if it's a star letter, we have more than enough evidence to put our statement of claim together, go down to small claims court, file this thing, sue them, and get paid. Like there's many ways to do it. Um, as it pertains to verbatim from products, don't take anything verbatim. It always has and needs some customization to fit you and your issues. The stuff that I make are general, and most of them will reflect, let's say if I get a question or something like that. But if you're going to use it for yourself or for your clients, there's some level of modification that will be needed to make sure that the dispute letter is personalized to that person, to that avatar, and we just go from there. All right.
Okay.
All right. So everybody have an amazing night. Connoisseur, tomorrow we got a lot to talk about, a lot to do. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, alligator. See you in a while, crocodile. Peace.
Good
Your
night.
boy
Bye bye.
is out. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
holidays,
you.
guys. I wish you guys an amazing, amazing holiday. Spend the time with the ones you love. Spend the time with the people that matter. Learn. Don't stop learning. Feed your mind the things you want to become. Constantly learning, constantly leveling up your skill, constantly being the best version of you that is possible. All right. So, everybody, have a great night, and I will see y'all tomorrow for the Connors.